I'm here with Miami head golf coach Zach Cedric. Coach, you guys had about a week off after your last competition. Have you seen any improvements from your team during that time?
Obviously, it's a short time window, but I think Friday and Saturday were two really good days for the team. We did a pretty difficult kind of par 5 birdie game at home on Friday that I think our first guy finished it in a little over 2.5 hours. So we have a few guys that still need to finish today, but it really just put a premium on just turning 3 shots into 2, which I think is, that's our main thing we've talked about. So definitely saw some more tension, some higher pressure moments than even some of the other stuff that we've done this fall. So I think it was really beneficial. And then we went up and played Sycamore Hills on Saturday, which is where the MAC championship will be in the spring. And we had the weather was not great, but we had a lot of good attitudes and got a lot out of it. Had a really competitive day, and like I said, I think it's a little thing, but I mean the weather was not awesome, and the guys rolled with it, handled it great. Like I said, we had a really good kind of inter-squad competition, and I was really pleased. We played some very good golf in some bad weather. So I think it was it's easy with the kind of trip we have coming up to almost get into a little bit of vacation mode. Like, hey, we're going to a really cool place. But I've seen the guys really knuckle down and do a good job of getting themselves ready for this upcoming tournament.
Yeah, and you talked about that. You guys travel to Bahamas this weekend. What can you tell us about the course that you'll be playing on in the field that's there?
It's an excellent field. There'll be at least a couple, maybe I'm trying to think through this real quick, 2 or maybe 3 teams in the top 10 to 15, another couple teams in the top 30. So it's a really good field. It's going to look similar to what you would see at a regional, I would say. So it'll be a great barometer for us. And the golf course is probably fairly similar to Quail Valley in that it's a resort style course. The fairways are a little tighter. It's a little more demanding off the tee than Quail Valley, but outside of that, I think if you're playing from the fairway, you're going to have a chance to shoot some very good scores. A good comparison would be some of the events over in Hawaii where you'll see some teams way under par, and then you'll see some teams, fairly well over par as well. Quail Valley, pretty much everyone was making some birdies. So I think you're going to see a little bit more of a disparity just because it's more demanding off the tee. But we've driven it pretty well for the most part this fall. So I know we're very comfortable with that. This time of year, it can get extremely windy, but for right now, the forecast is 10 to 15 miles an hour. Not really concerned about that either, since we've had a fair amount of practice and prep and some wind. So we'll definitely be ready for that as well.
Can you tell me about what your lineup's going to look like and if you're going to have any individuals competing?
So the nice thing about this trip is we're actually going to have everyone competing. So we'll have Charlie Nikitas, Jack Mortel, Jack Hersig, Jack Katarincic, and Danny Fisher in the lineup, and then we'll have Jack Ebner and Cam Solomon competing as individuals. So good to take everyone, cool trip to take everyone, and as of the end of this upcoming tournament, everyone on the team will have played in at least 3 events. So, with a big gap between the fall and the spring, I think things are definitely pretty wide open as far as where our lineup could go, because Cam and Ebbs could definitely contribute. They may not have played their best golf up to this point this fall, but like I said, both have played a couple of events. They're going to play one more, and just from what I've seen over the last couple of weeks, their games are definitely trending in a positive direction. So it'd be good for them to get some more reps at the end of the fall too.
So this is the last tournament of the fall season. What are you trying or hoping to see from your team this weekend?
Like I said, we've seen incremental improvements. I haven't seen us play 54 holes of good golf. We've done a lot of things. Like I told the guys, we've played a lot of good golf at a tournament, but we haven't played solid golf for the entire tournament. I think if that's one thing everyone wants to see is no one wants to see that gap where it kind of feels like they go missing for a little bit for some reason or another. It may not have shown up quite as well at Quail Valley just because the scores were so low, but that afternoon, we just didn't quite take advantage of the conditions, and then the last round too, it was really our finish that saved us. So I think for everyone, I think they just want to feel like when they get done on Sunday that they've had a complete week, and if that results in a win, great. If it doesn't, we'll learn from it and move on. But I think everyone's feeling is we really want to go and from start to finish feel like everything that they want to do well is very consistent.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.